A crucial Bitcoin market indicator is signaling that the worst of crypto crash might be over. Let me know what you guys think down below. Also, XRP Steadies above 110 to bounce from a 4-month low. XRP's on the move, y'all. Hopefully you guys caught that bottom. Okay, we'll cover that in a second. MicroStrategy buys another 1,500 Bitcoin since the first time it sold 2.5 million worth of its Bitcoin. Okay, let me know what you guys are thinking about the market and what's happening with the sentiment. We got the fear and greed index at 16. I think it's at 13 actually, but we'll cover that coming up next. Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Royal Productions. But if this is your first time, what we do here is cover crypto news, blockchain, anything to do with the financial market. And if you guys are into stuff like that, make sure you like, subscribe, and also share it to others who aren't aware of cryptocurrency. And also, I'm going to start making basic cryptocurrency videos for people because there's a lot of people onboarding into crypto and being introduced to this without really knowing the ins and outs of it. And we've heard a lot of people say that this market's going to work that way in the background, but it's also very important that you're aware of how your finances work. Okay, so without any more ranting, let's get right into this news I have for you guys today. So basically, a crucial Bitcoin market indicator is signaling for the worst of the crypto crash to be over. So I barely heard about this today, and I did a little research on it, but basically this metric is called the market value to realized value, so MVRV Z-Score. Okay, and basically what it does is every major Bitcoin cycle bottom has coincided with the Z-Score touching or briefly dipping below zero into the green zone of the chart. So let's go to this chart really quick. Again, my first time looking at it and hearing about it as well. But basically what this chart basically does is every time it comes to this point down here, it shoots up. It shoots up. That's what the chart's saying. And if you guys don't know what the chart is, I'm explaining it for you guys really quick. So basically, the metric compares the deviation of Bitcoin's market value, what the token is worth right now based on the current market price from its realized price. Okay, so if you bought at the top, it brings that data into it, you know what I mean, if you're holding it and whatnot. The second figure, widely considered close fair value, and it is obtained by the average price of every Bitcoin since the last time it was transacted on chain. So Satoshi's coins that are sitting on chain and haven't been transacted, it puts that at that level, and it stays at that level since it's never been moved, right? So we have to think about a lot of people who are holding when they bought at the top, at the bottom. Like I said, I don't know how this score really 100% works, but it's something to look at and be aware of. So if you guys wanted, articles will be down below. Okay, moving on. Some beautiful news, XRP. So hopefully you guys caught this bottom. Let me know if you guys caught the bottom and got another bag. All right, let me know. I think it's the bottom, but also with what's happening in the world, we could see a little bit more of a dip, right? But anyways, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Okay, XRP recovered from a 4-month low on elevated volume, but the token remains trapped below a key resistance level, even as ETF inflows and exchange outflows continue to build. So again, like, this market's a lot different from before. And if you guys been here a couple of years, you know we never had ETFs in the market. So with these institutions coming in now and this ETF inflow and outflow, it really messes with the market because these aren't retail investors doing research and really charting things out. These are some people who are just buying, hopefully, you know, looking for it to skyrocket. This is a lot of people in crypto, sorry to say it, but they do not do the research into what they're invested in. There's a lot of hype, there's a lot of hearsay, and when they hear from other people, they don't really do this research. They listen to them and then they just invest in the coin. But with these ETFs, remember, these are big institutions who know how to play the game and have been playing the game for a long time. So that's what I think is happening with these charts and with everything. Okay, but basically traders are watching the support around 113 to 114 and resistance near 115 to 120 as a key level that could signal either further downside towards the $1 level or the start and repair in sentiment. So basically, we covered this before, the fear and greed index, as you guys can see here. Basically, people are fearful of the market, but looking at the markets, it looks like, you know, we saw a bottom. But remember, always look at the charts and do the research on your own. Okay, Moving on, strategy buys 1,500 Bitcoin for the first time since selling 2.5 million worth of Bitcoin. And we've covered this last week, how, he says he's never going to sell Bitcoin, but this was part of their strategy. Okay. And also they basically say, if you're holding MicroStrategy as well, and you're holding the Bitcoin and portfolio and stuff that they have, that you're kind of good, because like they go hand in hand. So if Bitcoin comes down, MicroStrategy goes up, MicroStrategy comes down, Bitcoin goes up. And it's based off how they have calculated their risk into their market and selling, their MicroStrategy and their Bitcoin portfolios. You know what I mean? So basically the purchase comes after Bitcoin fell around 15% last week, briefly trading below the 60,000 level before rebounding to 62,000. So okay, let's continue reading right here. The decline in the Bitcoin price followed, at least partially, after sellers sold 32 Bitcoin on June 1st. Okay, so this is all recent. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and come back for some content, because we're always posting videos. All right. So I personally think, like I said, this is just part of the strategy. But as a retail investor and someone who don't have deep pockets like myself, it's important that you know what you're investing in and you just don't throw your money away. Okay. Don't throw your money at the wall hoping for something to stick. Okay, don't do that with this. Okay. MetaMask launches AI agent wallet with built-in security for crypto trades. Now, listen, do you guys think AI is the future? Please let me know. I do. And I'm not the type of person to worship anything. You get what I mean? But I am aware that these tools can help you. But basically MetaMask, if you guys don't know what MetaMask is, it's a wallet, but they're actually integrating AI agent now. And we've covered this way, I think it was last year, but there was a video game that came out. I think it was called Elysium. But Elysium, this was the video game that had an AI built into it. And basically you were able to transact whenever you wanted, however you wanted within the game. And the AI, I believe, in Elysium was called Lucy. So at any time you can be like, hey Lucy, do this, and it will do that for you. So you can say, hey Lucy, look at this person's recent trades and copy them, and the AI would go look at this person's recent trades, ask you if you want to copy these trades. You can turn off or turn on this or that, and then say complete, as you would with a face scan or anything like that. Also, like, you can do stuff like, hey, this person has just bought an NFT, go and find that NFT for me. You might not know where the NFT is, but Lucy would know, and she would go into the internet and find it for you. I just think that with AI, there's so many components and things that you can put into it and have it do that, like, we've only hit the tip of the iceberg with AI. So look into some companies that are running some AI things, and maybe it could help you in the future. But basically the wallet's main selling point is security. Every transaction undergoes a simulation, threat scanning, and MEV protection, while transactions deemed safe are backed up to 10,000 in coverage through MetaMask transaction protection program. So the AI isn't just there doing whatever it wants. It also has to go through these simulations and things like that. So check them out. I believe MetaMask is a good wallet to use if you're into cryptocurrency. But remember, there's plenty of wallets out there, so always look at the best one that works for you. All right. So Bybit challenges Wall Street with a massive push into tokenized US stock IPOs. So basically, a retail investor can now buy shares at an official underwritten price through the crypto exchange, bypassing Wall Street exclusive IPO clubs. So this is huge. Pre-IPO clubs. So before we had blockchain, before we had any of this, there was a club where if you were a accredited investor with a certain amount of capital, you would get access to this pre-IPO. So for instance, SpaceX is highly anticipated a public listing, and with Bybit, it's launched the IPO where you can get into it now and not have to wait until, I believe, June 11 and 12 when it actually releases. So the SpaceX IPO registration on Bybit runs from June 7 to 11, with allocation to spot trading of the token beginning June 11 and 12, as SpaceX targets a 75 billion raise at 1.75 trillion valuation. So they're going to release about 75 billion worth of a stock, I believe, or IPO and it's looking at the valuation of 175 trillions. Too many numbers for me this morning. All right, so check this out. Look at Bybit. I believe they're American Rand, so you can use Bybit. Okay, moving on. Arthur Hayes. So this we covered this last week. This is someone to pay attention to. Okay, but Arthur Hayes dumped World days after Maelstrom's AI IPO pitch. So basically he dumped hype and Zcash last week along with Near, and now is dumping World Liberty coin. But he basically says like everything's going in the wrong direction right now, so like that didn't really like hit me. But this chart is going in the wrong direction, said Hayes on X Saturday. So this Saturday, that's what he said. But everything is going sideways right now. But you have to understand that these people are individual investors, but they also are aligned with certain people in the industry. So, you know, you can look at this as, hey, follow him, follow him, follow him. That's not what I'm saying when I say follow him. I'm saying look at why he did this, understand why he did this. And if you're an investor and you're new, these are people to pay attention to, people who have been doing this for years. Okay, so again, if you guys enjoy the content, my name is Louis. Appreciate y'all. Peace.